Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Hey Everybody podcast, episode 72, I believe. I also believe I am Christopher Gold, and I know I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here because I've decided to be happy to be here. I shoot these on Mondays. They come out on Wednesdays. And Mondays, I think for anybody in any situation, can be Mondays. For me, I usually have kind of a list of things I have to get done and things I sort of put off over the weekend to relax that I need to get done, and any number of things can sort of come at you mentally or emotionally. And I was messaging my wife. I sent her a message and I said, I'm not feeling it today. I feel kind of blue and that kind of thing. And then I came in my office and I turned on this sports talk show that I watch every day called the Pat Mcafee Show. It's very good. And he opened today by saying, I believe, let's have a good day. And the wording of that struck me. He didn't say it's going to be a good day. He didn't say it is a good day. He didn't say anything. He said, let's have a good day. And I'm sure he didn't put this kind of thought into it, but I did. I felt like he was saying, let's decide right now, before the day starts, we're having a good one. God damn it. And I immediately messaged my wife again. And I said, I changed my mind. I'm having a good day. And thus far, it has been good. And what is notable is that some things have happened. Some less than ideal things have happened. And it hasn't had the same effect or impact on me because I've decided I'm having a good day. So if this stuff comes along and does not fit into that, see ya. Bye. I'm having a good day. I don't care. I think that's important. I think there are things out of our control for sure. But there is an element of choice in, some people would say, almost everything. Some people would say there's an element of choice in everything. Stoicism effectively is, no matter what happens, no matter how terrible, you still decide how you react to it. And I don't know if I'm fully on board with that. I understand it, and I think having some stoicism in the tool chest is a good idea because, you apply different things in different situations at different times. But I definitely think in a lot of situations, in most situations, choice factors in and can make things that we don't have a choice in infinitely more manageable or tolerable or even adjustable. Maybe like me, you at some point have been diagnosed with you have depression, you have anxiety, you have whatever you have. That may be true. That can be true. And you're still going to be given the opportunity to make dozens of choices throughout your day that can either help you or hurt you in the face of the fact that you have depression and it's not in your control. And that can be as simple as, deciding what you're going to eat or drink in hopes that it might alleviate some feelings or put you in a better mood. It can be as simple as deciding what you're going to listen to, who you're going to hang out with, what you're going to watch, what you're going to, that kind of thing, what you're going to read. I do that very often. I will set aside time to I'm going to read something that I know is going to make me feel different than I feel right now. And that's a choice I'm making in the face of a feeling that maybe wasn't my choice. So I'm having a ton of success so far today, having decided that I'm not asking anyone's permission. I'm not needing anyone's assistance. Today's going to be a good day. And if people want to come along, awesome. And if they don't, well, maybe I'll get to them tomorrow. We shall see. Let's have some coffee. I've already switched to decaf today. But it's very hot. I think I'm going to take next week off because my wife and son have next week off. And I'm sure, this would come out a couple days before Christmas and that kind of thing. And, I'm sure viewership would be down anyways. So we might just take a week off so I can spend that much more time with my family, which I'm very excited about. I still chuckle sometimes. My wife and I, in June of next year, so in about 6 months, we will celebrate 16 years of marriage, which is like 18 or 19 years of knowing each other and being into each other. And I remember when we first got married, we would get invited places like, hey, there's a guys' night happening here, or even there's like a, I'm having my bachelorette party and he's having his bachelor party and we're all splitting off. And Tori and I, we weren't totally into that. Like we spend a lot of time apart for sure. And I personally really value like quiet alone time. But she's like my best friend in the whole world. And 16 years ago as newlyweds, we wanted to be together all the time. And we didn't quite understand like what could be fun that wouldn't be more fun if the other one of us was there. And people would tell us like, oh yeah, that's newlywed shit, give it time. Those people are divorced now. And and Tori and I are coming up on 16 years and just love hanging out together. Love going to the grocery store and watching football. And I still don't understand, like, obviously, like, absence makes the heart grow fonder and all that kind of stuff. And I very often, like, will have a show or a band practice or something like that. I'm not encouraging like codependency or anything. I'm just saying, why would you marry someone? Well, I don't want to criticize anyone else's relationship. If it works for you, that's awesome. For us, we like being together all the time whenever we can. And we're going to do that a lot next week. And I'm very excited. So I'm taking a day off or a week off. Now, let's get to some recommendations. I'm going to give you extra recommendations today to get you through a week without me. But there's a theme. I'm really into movie soundtracks, or I have been for a while, and I'm starting to buy them at the record store. It's tricky because a lot of times they're quite expensive, and I had a suspicion that was confirmed. The reason they are expensive is kind of a twofer of they don't press huge amounts of them. And when you press smaller amounts, each one has to be exponentially more expensive to blah, blah. And two, the licensing for a soundtrack, if it's not like all original score stuff, you have to pay each individual publisher for each individual song, and it gets very expensive. You try to recoup that on the back end by selling records for $40 instead of 20, and it's a whole thing. But I have a few soundtracks that I'm going to recommend to you. Incidentally, each one of these could also be a movie recommendation because I've never purchased the soundtrack to a movie I hated, though I could imagine I might. And I will point out up top, there's a woeful, heartbreaking lack of horror stuff and specifically John Carpenter stuff in my current soundtrack collection. Like I said, I would love to have more synthy 80s horror stuff. If you have any laying around, let me know. But first, I've already recommended this. Let's do it again. The Inside Llewyn Davis soundtrack. It's fantastic. This one's of note because it's a lot of performances. This movie, I think technically would meet the qualifications to be considered a musical. So a lot of the songs on here are performances from actors in the film. It's a great movie. Possibly my favorite Coen Brothers movie. The Big Lebowski's way up there. I don't know. We'll see. Then we'll get into a bit of a theme here which is the spaghetti western, specifically Ennio Morricone. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly. We have like a compilation from what's known as the Dollars trilogy, which is A Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You can see I bought that for 50 cents at like a Goodwill or something. And then we have, this is Hugo Montenegro and his orchestra. So it's more orchestral stuff from, again, those same movies, Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Ba-boom. Spaghetti westerns rip, that kind of music rips, and I am working on some. Next, we have the Hell or High Water soundtrack by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis, who are fantastic. They also did the soundtrack to The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, which is a fantastic movie and a very good soundtrack that I unfortunately do not own. But this is great because you get some, this is my favorite kind of soundtrack. You get some instrumental passages from the movie, but then also some songs. You get a Townes Van Zandt song, a Waylon Jennings song, a Scott H. Byram song. It's good stuff. This will make you feel like you're in Texas and hopefully like you just robbed a bank. Great movie. Then we have the soundtrack to a movie called American Folk. This movie is interesting to me because I recommended it to someone and they didn't like it, and they told me why they didn't like it, and I agreed with them, but still liked it, which is complicated, and I guess part of what makes the world spicy and fun. It stars two musicians, Amber Rubarth, who I was not overly familiar with, and Joe Purdy, of whom I am a big fan, and as a result, much of the songs on here are performed by those two, but, you know, you'll also get, let's see, are these all them? No, there's Jerry Garcia and Dave Grisman. I thought there was a John Prine song on here, but I must be wrong. Maybe they just do a John Prine song. But a lot of traditional stuff and some stuff that I believe that they wrote, get them doing like a Blaze Foley song and that kind of thing. And it's great. Carter family stuff, it's great. Check it out. And then my latest acquisition, I bought this a couple days ago. This is the soundtrack to a movie called The Devil All the Time. If you are looking for a feel-good summertime romp that you can just easily digest and never think about again, don't watch this movie. But if you like sort of sprawling, generational, vaguely southern, Rust Belt, sort of gothic tragedy, epic things with big, huge casts that eventually sort of weave together into one story, and, you know, you're not afraid of a little shadow and darkness, watch this movie. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original film. And this soundtrack is awesome because it's another one of those, you get some like actual true like soundtrack stuff, music that was composed for the film. But then you get a lot of music that is also in the film, but is existing stuff from like the 50s and 60s. You get the Delmore brothers, the Stanley brothers, you get Ferlin Husky, Pokey LaFarge, that kind of thing. Jimmy Rogers, Sonny James. It's good stuff. Billy Walker doing a Willie Nelson song. Really good. A lot of like gospel, country, and folk, but with interspersed instrumental music. It's really, really fun. And this cover is awesome. Look at that. It's good stuff. Those are the recommendations for today. And just, you know, listen to something that you don't normally listen to. I went many, many, many years without ever really considering soundtracks. And I've come to really enjoy them. Like I said, I wish I had some horror stuff. I wish I had, one of my favorite movies is called Grosse Pointe Blank. It's a John Cusack movie. And Joe Strummer curated the soundtrack for that. And it rules. And I don't have it. And I wish that I did. But just, you know, if you've never really taken the time to listen to a soundtrack to a movie you like, check it out. I've been listening to a lot of old gospel lately, particularly the Staple Singers, because, you know, if I were going to believe in God, it would be because of Mavis Staples. Oh, I love And I've been really enjoying those old gospel records, kind of minimalist. It's good stuff. I like it a lot. I'm not going to ramble. I'm not going to trouble you with any, blah, blah, blah. But I hope you guys are good. I hope this time of year isn't dredging up any stuff for you. I know the calendar is not always as friendly to some people as it is to other people. There are certain days of the year that I myself have issues around, and the holidays can be some of those days. So I would just say, be kind to yourself and go easy on yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be honest about what you need. And, maybe turn off your phone. Or at least, I spent the whole day yesterday without the internet. I mean, I streamed some football, which I guess technically used the internet. But no social media, none of that stuff. And it was lovely. I finished 2 books. It was great. But I do find that sometimes what makes holidays extra hard for people for whom the holidays are already hard is the comparison thing. I forget who it was, but someone once said, compare to despair. Like if you want to feel bad, and this is the reason I stayed off the internet, because I had a great Saturday, but at some point I started feeling bad because I saw some things happening on Instagram and I was like, well, why isn't that happening for me? Or why didn't they ask me to do that? Or I was comparing myself to other people when in reality, my present moment was very, very good. So if you struggle with the holidays, first, I'm sorry you struggle with the holidays. I understand that feeling. And second, what has helped me is, chuck your phone in the lake. You can get a new phone pretty easy. Just huck it into the lake and do whatever you got to do. Maybe you just want to sit on your couch and, eat popcorn and watch football all day. Do it. Maybe you want to just take a walk or a long drive by yourself. Do it. Maybe you want to do what I do. We have an annual Christmas tradition of watching Live at the Greek Theater by Flogging Molly, one of my favorite bands of all time. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with Christmas, but we've been doing it for almost a decade, maybe more now. And we watch Die Hard, which we were doing before it became like a thing. Now it's like a thing, I guess, that people fight about. Like, is it a Christmas movie? It's not a Christmas movie. First of all, it's definitely a Christmas movie because it's got Christmas themes and Christmas music. It opens with a Christmas song, Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC, which also rips. But, who cares? I see people fight about so much stuff that I'm just going like, ugh, who gives a shit? The only debate about Die Hard should be with yourself. It should be, do you enjoy it? And if you wanted to have a second debate, it should be with yourself. And it should be, do you want to watch it around the holidays? That's it. Who cares? Maybe it's not a Christmas movie. I don't care. I'm watching it. All right. I'm going to let you go. Thank you guys for being here. I hope, again, I just do these, and I hope that there's something of value in them. I don't even promote them. I used to post them on Facebook. I don't anymore. I don't even have a personal Facebook anymore. I don't post them on Instagram. So these really are just for a very small group of people that know where to find them. And I hope they are of some value to you. And thanks for being here. I hope you have a merry, happy, joyful, hopeful, whatever. Up next for me, I got the band on New Year's Eve at Badger State Brewing in Green Bay with a band from, I think, Missouri called Me Like Bees. That's going to be a fun night. So if you feel like coming and hanging out, do it up. And if not, I get that. I'm going to try to be home well before midnight, pour myself a whiskey, and watch these New Year's Eve shows that I don't understand and I make fun of. It's a tradition. All right. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Yeah. Be good. Happy whatever. Bye.